Right, yeah, hey, y'all there? Today I thought we'd look at a few cards that support the Morganite archetype. Both the cards that are within Master Duel, as well as the newly announced cards that are coming in later in the year. So yeah, let's start off with it. So first off, with Morganites, I'm playing Runic right now with him. I'm playing 3 Succumbing Song, and as well as 1 Time Tearing. Simply put, Succumbing Song, when it's in the graveyard, you can banish it to add a Morganite card from deck to hand, then place 1 card from your hand to bomb the deck. So it's really just a way I can just get like another Time Tearing Morganite. So effectively I am playing 4 Time Tearing Morganites. The attack boost also helps, I am playing like a small Kashtira package alongside the Runic cards. If I ever get to a battle phase, because you know how Runics are, then yeah, I can actually just attack big. Assuming that I actually get the attack points to attack over an opponent's monster. But we'll get there when we get there. What else can you play within the Morganite deck? Firstly, limited to Master Duel, you got Foolish Burial Goods. So 1 spell trap from your deck to your graveyard. The idea behind this is that you send your Succumbing Song Morganite. Succumbing Song can then just search whichever Morganite you're after. Is that 1 in Master Duel? Is unlimited in TCG, so should be able to play with that. Other things you're going to be wanting to use are, well, hand traps. They're big in Yugioh right now. They have been part of the meta for probably about 7 or 8 years now. But yeah, Infinite Impermanence, fantastic card. Remember that your Morganites do cut you off from activating monster effects inside your hand. So, best way to get around that is to use trap cards that can activate from the hand. We're talking Infinite Impermanence. We're also talking the Dominus cards. Dominus Purge, which is basically an Ash Blossom, and Dominus Impulse. These cards can be activated from hand, however for the rest of the duel, you can't activate monsters with certain attributes. Dominus Impulse can stop an effect that special summons the monster. However, you can't activate the effects of light, earth, and wind monsters for the rest of the duel if you activate it from hand. Dominus Purge, on the other hand, can negate an effect that adds a card from deck to hand. If you activate this card from the hand, you can't activate the effects of dark, water, or fire monsters for the rest of the duel. So yeah, those trap cards are very useful. Another card that's really useful is Forbidden Droplet. Send any number of cards from your hand or field to the graveyard, choose how many effect monsters your opponent controls, until the end of this turn, their attack is halved, and their effects are negated. Also, your opponent can't activate cards of the same type as the cards that you sent in response to this card's activation. Chances are, if you're playing Time Tearing Morganite, if the duel's been going on for a little bit, you're going to end up with a surplus of cards in your hand. Which means that you do have fodder for your Forbidden Droplet. Forbidden Droplet not only negates your opponent's monster's effects, but also halves their attack, which means you can attack in them with Succumbing Song Morganite. Remember, you're dealing double battle damage, and can make 2 attacks on monsters with each one of your own monsters. If you're going to push for game via attacking, I heavily recommend playing Forbidden Droplet. Also, just with Succumbing Song Morganite, like I said, while Foolish Burial Goods can just send it from deck to graveyard, just about anything that sends a card from deck to graveyard is also good. So when it comes to Morgana, I don't exactly know how Search would support for that, but there are a couple of cards you can look at. Eye of Illusion prevents your illusion and spellcaster monsters from being destroyed by battle for a turn. So if you're in a position where you have to summon out your Morgana, wait a turn or something to get a few more cards in your hand via Time Tearing Morganite, you should be able to use this during your opponent's battle phase. The Morgana is safe for a turn unless they do main phase 2 shenanigans. Spirit with Eyes of Blue, if you're going to play Chaos Max Turbo, this card's great, right? Because its material is 1 level 4 lower dragon or spellcaster monster, which is what Morgana is. If you're looking to go into a rank 4 monster, you can play something like one of these Charm or adjacent cards. Nefarious Archfiend, Eater of Nefariousness. If you control a spellcaster monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. So yeah, you can use this in Morgana. Make a link 2, make a rank 4. Pretty decent there. The other Magtate Cladius. Each time your opponent activates a card or effect, except spell cards and effects, place 1 spell counter on this card when that effect resolves. Then you can remove 3 spell counters from this card, and you can add 1 spellcaster effect monster from deck to hand, or special summon a spellcaster monster from hand or deck. So yeah, use this, special out your Morgana. Use this if you're going to push for game. If you're playing a deck that uses 2 level 8 monsters. Again, probably with Blue Eyes. I don't really know many ranking engines. Just special summon out the Morgana. This allows you to play only 1 copy of Morgana. Or, if you still want to play 3, you can. And if you just didn't see it in your opening hand, now you got a way to access it. There are a few extra cards like that as well. Celine can special summon a Morgana that's in your graveyard or hand. if it removes 3 spell counters from it. That can also be an option. Apprentice Illusion Magician. During damage calc, if another Dark Spellcaster monster battles an opponent's monster, you send this card from your hand or face-up field to a graveyard, your monster gains 2,000 attacking defense during that damage calculation only. Again, double battle damage, that's huge. You're looking at like a 3,500 Morgana in that case, which, will attack over most things. Also got Time Star Magician. Once per turn, detach a material from this card. Add 1 Dark Spellcaster monster to your hand from your deck, graveyard, or face-up extra deck. This one's a little bit harder to get out. It does need 2 Magician Pendulum monsters, level 4. But yeah, it's still doable. Basically what I'm trying to say is, if you're only playing 1 Morgana, if you don't want to limit the amount of monster effects you can activate from the hand, there are cards that you can play that will search out the Morgana later. And then once the Morgana is searched out, you can then search out the rest of your Morganite cards. We also got here Ebon High Magician. If this Exceed Summon card is destroyed by battle and sent to a graveyard, or if it's sent to a graveyard via opponent's card effect, you can search summon 1 Dark Spellcaster monster from your hand or deck. Then you can destroy 1 card on the field. This is okay, except you have to use up a battle phase for it. Might be able to do something cool. There's also an Alistair card that's not in the CCG right now. It's going to affect, you can special summon a level 4 Spellcaster monster from your deck, which is Morgana. But what about the Guilt Gripping Morganite? Well, for that, we're going to have to search for the keyword pay. And also filter our search results. Its effect is you don't have to pay life points to activate spell or trap cards. So we're going to be looking for normal spells, normal traps, and counter traps. We'll probably look at continuous traps as well, but right now, these 3, they're typically the ones that you're most likely to encounter a cost when paying for life points. First off, we'll look at the counter traps. So you got your Solemn cards, you got Warning, you got Strike, you got Judgment. The selection, pay 1,000 life points, negate the summon of a monster that has the same type as a monster on the field and destroy it. That's decent. We looked at Chaos Trap Hole before as well, when a light dark monster would be summoned, pay 2,000 life points, negate the summon of that monsters, and if you do, banish it. Iron Thunder, pay half your life points to negate a spell, trap, or monster card. Dynamorphia cards are generally only usable within a Dynamorphia deck, simply because you want to pay life points. Red Reroute, wherever it's legal. When your opponent activates a trap card, negate the activation. If you set that card face down, then they can set another trap card directly from the deck. However, for the rest of the turn after this card resolves, your opponent can't activate trap cards, and you can activate this card from your hand by paying half your life points. Probably should have been at the start, when I was talking about trap cards you can activate from hand. I don't think it's CCG legal though. I don't remember. Rebirth of Parshath. When a spell, trap card, or monster effect is activated, reveal 1 counter trap in your hand, discard 1 card and pay 1,000 life points. Negate the activation, and if you do, shuffle that card back into the deck. Then you can special summon a Parshath monster from your deck or extra deck. A little convoluted, probably could make it work within a fairy deck, but I won't know. 7 tools. Trap card is activated, pay 1,000 life points, negate the activation if you destroy it. Just something a bit more old school. And yeah, that's probably all the good ones for counter traps. Let's look at normal trap cards. Zexal Alliance. It's a face-up Xyz monster you control is destroyed by battle or opponent's card effect. Pay life points so you only have 10 left. Special summon a Utopia monster from your graveyard. And if you do, take 1 card from your deck and place it on top of your deck. That special summon monster's attack becomes doubled, and it can't be destroyed by battle except with a number monster. Or by card effects. Yeah, Zexal Alliance could work, because you're not going to be paying that life points. You're not going to be reducing your life points down to 10. Judgment on the Pharaoh, pay half your life points, select and activate an appropriate effect. Yugioh Friendships in your graveyard. Your opponent can't normal summon, set, flip summon, or special summon monsters, or activate an effect monster's effect. And that monster's effects are negated. Unities in your graveyard until the end of the turn, negate the effects of all spell trap cards on your opponent's side of the field. Exceeds Extreme. If an Exceeds monster you control is destroyed by battle, pay 1,000. Reveal an Exceed monster from your extra deck with a rank less than or equal to destroyed monsters. And so can your opponent simultaneously. Whichever monster has the lower attack takes damage equal to the difference between the 2 monsters' attacks. However, if your opponent doesn't reveal a monster, inflict damage equal to the attack of the revealed monster. Little jank, but yeah, I mean, these are all trap cards. They're going to be slower than spell cards, obviously. Terrible Deal. Pay 1,000 life points. When your opponent activates a spell card, your opponent discards 1 random card. There's not really going to be many, I was just saying, Transaction Rollback is probably like the base normal trap card, where you have to actually pay life points to activate. Pay off your life points, target one normal trap in your opponent's graveyard, except Transaction Rollback. This card's effect becomes that card's effect. Or you can bash this card from your graveyard and pay half your life points, then target one normal trap in your graveyard, and then this card's effect becomes that activated effect. Soul of the Supreme King, pay half your life points, special summon the Supreme King's Arc from your extra deck, ignoring your summon conditions, but negates effects. Same thing with Transaction Rollback. Trap of Darkness is pretty much that, but with like a lot more conditions. Your life points have to be at 3,000 or less, and it is your graveyard, not your opponent's graveyard. Backs to the Wall, pay life points until you have 100 left, special summon as many 6 samurai monsters with different names from your graveyard as possible, and yeah, that can work. Just means that you get like, 5 monsters on the field that you can use as extra deck material. That's great. So that's probably it for the trap cards. Let's look at your normal spell cards. We'll look at continuous traps, actually. Skill Drain, big one there. Don't have to pay life points for that. It's just a lot of the times with a continuous trap, what you're paying is for maintenance cost rather than activation. So for like red screen over here, right? During each of your end phases, you must pay 1,000 life points, or this card's destroyed. You'd still have to pay that under Guild Gripping Morganite, because you're not paying life points to activate the effect. This is a maintenance cost, it's different. Skill Drain, on the other hand, you have to pay life points to activate this card. It says it right there. Activate this card by paying 1,000 life points. Then you got cards like Soul Demolition. If you control a Fiend monster, you can pay 500 life points. Then each player targets one monster on their opponent's graveyard to banish those targets. This isn't to activate the card. The payment is to activate the effect. I don't believe we'll be protected under Guild Gripping Morganite. So you would still have to pay the life points there. So yeah, it is a little tricky when looking for like the keyword pay. You still have to know like rulings to figure out which cards you can actually use. Actually, you can play Mind Drain. Activate this card by paying 1,000 life points. Neither player can activate the effect of monsters in their hand. Now your opponent's under Morganite, just like you are. Mind Drain actually might be good. I have to keep that one in mind. You know what? Just all the drains. Soul Drain as well. Monsters that are banished as well as monsters in the graveyard can't activate their effects. So we'll look at normal spells. Few here that I'm interested in. Instant Fusion. Pay 1,000 life points, summon out level 5 or lower fusion monster from your extra deck. In the TCG, it's limited to 1. Master Lords appears to be banned. You can still play Ready Fusion, however it has to be a non-effect monster. You have to pay 1,000 life points to activate it. So yeah, this is a good card to play on the Guild Gripping. Final Countdown. If you're playing like a stall deck, this card's fantastic. Now you don't have the life point deficit that you'd usually start off with, because you won't have to pay the 2,000 life points. Ties of the Brethren could be a good one. Pay 2k, target one level 4 lower monster you control for the rest of this turn. After this card resolves, you can't special summon monsters. Also special summon out 2 monsters from your deck with the same type, attribute, and level as that monster, but with different names for that monster. However, you can't conduct your battle phase the turn you activate this card. If you're doing this with Morgana, for instance, same type, so Spellcaster, Dark, level 4s. That pool is actually pretty decent, so you might be able to do something there. Herald of the Abyss, pay 1,500, declare a monster type and 1 attribute. Your opponent must send 1 face-up monster with the declared type and attribute from their field to the graveyard. And for the rest of the turn, your opponent can't activate the effect of monsters with that sent card's name. This card's great. I think it bypasses like towers and whatnot, because the effect's applied to the opponent and not to the card. If your opponent has a card that's unaffected by opponent's card effects, like your card effects, then this card probably bypasses it. I'm not too quite sure there. A Hero Lives. If you control no face-up monsters, pay half your life points, special summon level 4 lower elemental hero from your deck. Probably wouldn't play it in like a straight elemental hero deck, because they do activate a lot of monster effects in the hand. However, in like adjacent strategies, take Gate Guardian for example, right? You can use this card effect, bring out Prisma. Prisma is then able to like copy the name of our Gate Guardian material by showing Gate Guardians combined. So that's Sunga of the Thunder, Kaze-Jin, or Sui-Jin, while also sending a copy of that monster to the graveyard. Numbers Last Hope, pay half your life points, target 2 monsters in graveyard, special summon them both, negate their effects, then, when this effect resolves, Xyz summon a number of Xyz monster using those 2 monsters. But for the rest of the turn, after this card resolves, you can only special summon one more time from the extra deck. Extra Foolish Burial. Pay half your life points, send one monster from your extra deck to your graveyard. There are a few extra deck cards, a handful of them, that actually activate when they're sent to graveyard. They don't have to be sent from field to graveyard, they can just be sent to graveyard. Entis is probably the most popular one. However, you got like Marlong, Aggregator. These cards all activate when they're sent to graveyard. Lullaby of Obedience. Pay 2k, declare one monster card name. Your opponent looks at their deck, reveals one declared monsters if there is any, and then chooses one of these effects to be applied. Either the declared monster is added to the hand of the player activated this card, aka you. The monster goes from your opponent's deck into your hand. Or the player activated this card can special summon the declared monster to their field in attack position, ignoring summoning conditions. Again, that's for you. So yeah, that can work as well. Especially in formats where your opponent is playing a card that's limited. Or a card that they only play one of in their deck, like a Hard Garnet, for example. Also, Ancient Leaf, it's just draw 2. Uradora of Fate, pay 1k, then target one face-up monster you control. It gains 1,000 attack until the end of your opponent's turn. And if it does, apply this effect until the end of your opponent's turn. Each time it destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can reveal the bottom card of your deck, place it on the top or bottom of your deck. If the revealed card was a dragon, dinosaur, sea serpent, or worm monster, draw one card for every 1,000 attack of that monster, then gain 1,000 life points for each card drawn. If you can make this card work with Morganites, tell me, I want to see this in action. This actually sounds pretty sick. Also, there's also a few Galaxy cards in here as well that pay life points. I've just been ignoring them. I don't mess with Galaxies. System down. It's just funny. Pay 1,000 life points, banish all machine monsters your opponent controls and in their graveyard. Most people aren't playing machines, however, if you are playing Clockwork Knight, it changes all monsters on the field into machine monsters, and because System Down only affects your opponent's side of the field, it just banishes all their monsters. Might as well look at like quick plays as well. Synchro Control can take control of one Synchro monster your opponent controls. My Body is Shield. This is a big one. When your opponent activates a spell trap card or monster effect that would destroy a monster or monsters on the field, pay 1,500 life points to negate the activation, and if you do, destroy it. If you're playing like a stall strategy or a stun strategy, My Body is definitely something you should play 3 of. Cosmic Cyclone, pay 1,000 life points, target one spell trap on the field, then banish it. Primite, pay 2,000 life points, then declare one normal monster card name. The declared normal monsters and Primite monsters you control can't be destroyed by battle until the end of opponent's turn. Then, if you control no monsters, you can special summon the declared monster from your deck in defense position. Now you don't have to pay the 2k, you can just bring out a card. And continuous spells, I'm pretty sure these are all maintenance cost. Well, except for Toon World. Toons would be okay. There would be a strange dynamic playing Toons in Morganite decks. Particularly because like you can attack directly with your Toon monsters. However, you're going to have to math it out because you might get more damage if you attack your opponent's monsters. Because again, double battle damage and 2 attacks on monsters. Dragonoid Generator, activate this card by paying 1,000 life points. During your main phase, special summon one Dragonoid token, and you can't special summon monsters on your extra deck for the rest of the turn. Also, during the end phase, your opponent special summon one Dragonoid token to their field and attack position. Why on earth are we doing this card? I guess maybe in like a Monarch deck or something? So you can have like something on the field? That's a strange card. So yeah, that's all the cards I want to look at today. If there's any more that I haven't found out, please let me know. I'd love to hear it. Okay, yeah, catches.